Okay, guys, we are getting ready to start. So get your water, relax, make yourself comfortable. Share, we have already been up. Share, share, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. This evening, you'll be hearing from the attorney himself, one of our Jamaican athletes, Sekou Clarke. So get ready for it, guys.
Boom! I done my fair present for the program on him. Ladies, uplifting and inspiring. Every Friday, 8:15. Make sure you log in. Facebook, IG, YouTube. Yo, yeah, yeah, me Queen Cleopatra. Big up yourself. Yo, Daniel, large. Feel Friday night come. Feel that Friday I come. Ladies uplifting and inspiring. Make the whole of the people have fun. Anyway, make we tune into the program now. We want to know how the discussion go. New York, Miami to Orlando. Whether you in your big house or your condo. We have to tune into the program now. We want to hear how the discussion go. New York, Miami to Orlando. Whether you in your big house or your condo. 8:15 Friday night it start. And when me lock in, me now want to feel like off. Queen Cleopatra beautiful and smart. With a good sense of humor for make people laugh. Natalie, they on the look good chat. TALISA, hot like a fire where a spark. Angela and Vanille, them capture man heart. But I no looks alone and be a fox, them attack. And the black woman, them we a hand dance. Uplift, motivate and inspire them fast. A program hotter than 10 pepper sauce. Immigration law, you get your paper sauce. Olympian, we run past finish mark. Big artists from present and past. Pastor, preach, Satan, get brass. Doctors and nurses, teacher in a class. Yo, make we log into the program now. We want to know how the discussion go. New York, Miami to Orlando. Whether you in your big house or your condo. Boom, I done my fair present. Ladies uplifting and inspiring. Me say big up yourself, Queen Cleopatra, the thing sell out. Man!
Said when I see you smile, I can face the world. Oh, you know I can do anything. Alright, this is Singing Street, and I want you to tune in to these beautiful ladies each and every Friday, 8:15 Eastern Time. Ladies uplifting and inspiring, hosted by the Queen Cleopatra, Kingside Natalie, Talisha, Angela, Vanille. I don't know what I said, the tagline, concern, your concern, concern us. Together we concern. So just check out in on the IG, Facebook, YouTube. You don't know, each and every Friday. Singing sweet to them. I had a girl, and Donna was her name. Oh, Donna. Check them out. Singing sweet.
Welcome, guys, this evening. Welcome to Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday night, and we're feeling right. And, we're just going to celebrate tonight. We're going to be discussing, everything with attorney Sekou Clarke. But first, I want to say congratulations to you, TALISA Thomas. She's also a part of the Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring. And by the way, she is my daughter, and she is now on the honor roll. She's a honor roll scholar. She deserves it all, and she does attend Immaculate Conception High. So, TALISA, big up yourself. So, Jamaica, what's going on? What's going on, world? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I said, like and share, like and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Tip for your talk in the mother waistline. I go round and round like a waller. Barber shop sign car fuller. They all go round and round like a waller. Circle your face, circle your face, circle your face, circle your face. I go round and round like a waller. Mercy, 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 she comes with mercy. The back like me, nothing me, mercy. The wine that makes you mercy.
Hollywood talk tonight.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. For those of you who are just joining us today, we will be talking about the journey of an attorney, Sekou Clarke. What's up, Mr. Clarke? Welcome to Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring. How are you today?
Hi, Cleopatra. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for having me. I'm humbled that you even thought of me to have you on your program.
Yeah, a man like you, why not, Mr. Clarke? You're not just an ordinary person, okay? So I want you to just know that. You know, I'm sure many know you being a Jamaican athlete, and I think your career started from there. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, I want you to tell us, you know, what you've never probably shared with the world before. Who is Sekou Clarke?
Wow, that's such a broad question. That's broad stroke. So who is Sekou Clarke? Down to the core. I'd say Sekou Clarke. I'd start with the meaning of my name because it really embodies who I am. Sekou is French New Guinea. My dad named me after Sekou Touré, who was the first Black president of French New Guinea, and it means warrior. That is the meaning of the name Sekou, and that really embodies who I am. From when I was an athlete, I firmly believe that you leave everything on the line. You know, you leave everything on the line. You give it your best, even when the challenges are daunting and the hurdles are overwhelming. You keep on pushing and you keep on fighting, but you also don't only fight to bring yourself across the line. You fight to bring your teammates, your colleagues, and now my clients. So warrior really embodies who Sekou Clarke is. Was an athlete, now an attorney. In my practice, it's the same tenacity and being a zealous advocate for my clients. It's always a fight, and the bigger the fight, the bigger the challenges, but also the bigger the reward. So I would say, if I was to refer to myself in a third person, Sekou, it would be warrior.
Okay, you know, you were probably in my head because I had that question to ask you what your name really meant.
Yeah.
I have a brother, we call him Sekou. That's not his like paper name, birth certificate name. That's just his pet name, what we call pet name or alias. So I looked into it and I was about to ask you what that meant. So you preempted me asking you that question. Warrior, you know, I mean, a lot of us, we would need more warriors today, you know, people who are not willing to give up, people who are willing to stand up and fight for a cause, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And you have a little saying that says, when you know the struggle, the sacrifice, and the journey personally, you only stop when the job is complete. Expound on that a little bit.
Yeah, so you know, in my life, there has, I would say fortunately been a lot of sacrifices made by people like my parents and people who I call in my community. Sacrifices they have made to create a foundation for me. And then in my journey, there has been a lot of sacrifices. There has been a lot of sweat equity. There's been a lot of investments. And when you look at the big picture of it, when you carry out all of the sacrifices and all of the challenges, you go through each challenge and you learn and you grow. You know, you don't sit and you wonder, oh my God, why did I fail at this? Or, you know, why this never come true? Or, you know, why I never get the rainbow at that road. But it was really for the lesson. So in my mind, when you put together all of the sacrifices, mixed with the lessons, and you're constantly moving and growing. That is your journey, and that is what makes it all worth it. You know, because when you look back from your mountaintop, you will look at all of the sacrifices and the challenges that you had to make, and say, well, you know what, it was worth it.
Man, such a remarkable statement right there, Mr. Clarke, because I myself, you know, when I look back at the struggles that I've faced, like you said, very keyword, it's a lesson. So a
Yeah.
lot of us, sometimes we go through stuff and we're complaining and be like, oh, why me? Why not you? You know, there's something to learn from it, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
There is something to work to learn from it. Now, I know that you're not, like I said, you're not just an ordinary person. Your dad, he is a coach as well, correct?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what I want to ask you, when you were doing athletics and you were running tracks, was he the one who was your mentor?
Was he my mentor? He was my father, you know. Still is. He's still my mentor. I still call, you know, I still see him as my coach. You know, he's definitely my superhero. So I think mentor would be an understatement from where I'm sitting right now. But definitely growing up, you know, he was the man who I looked up to be. You know, he embodied everything that a father was, is, and coincidentally, he happened to be my coach. So it was really, really good to have those two different roles in the same person, because not was I only getting lessons at home as to how to be a man, but I was also getting lessons on the track of how to be a better athlete. And both of those roles really commingled into who I am today.
That's right. So I have a clip that I want to play. I just want to share with the world. I want them to see you, what you were doing back then.
Yes, this is Penn Relays 2004 lead-off leg for the University of Florida.
Right.
Great memories. Funny story, in this race, we set the collegiate record, which still stands today, which is what, 15, that was 2004, so around 15 years, somewhere there. I can't hear you. I lost you.
Okay. All right. So I just want you to, I know you were saying something earlier, Sekou. So I want you to share with us what was going on there. Like you said, it was Penn Relays.
Yes. So this was Penn Relays 2004. It was my second year at the University of Florida, where I was a student athlete, obviously. So we actually won that relay, and we actually, at that time, broke an approximately 20-year record at that track. And that record that we broke, we ran 301.1. It still stands today as the collegiate record at the Penn Relays. We actually got inducted into the Penn Relay Wall of Fame as a result of that performance.
Wow. Great accomplishment right there, right?
Yes.
So So, did you get a chance to go to the Olympics, Sekou?
No. So that's been one of those things in my life where I did not get to accomplish. I tried 3 times and was unsuccessful. For the longest time in my life, I thought being an Olympian and being an athlete would have been my lifelong achievement, but I guess it was not in the cards. However, as I mentioned before, the challenges that I encountered and the disappointments from not hitting those goals, I think definitely propelled me and created a really good foundation from an intrinsic standpoint to be the type of businessman and attorney that I am today.
Awesome. What are some of the challenges that you've faced? You want to share that with us?
Challenges
or obstacles, right? Or the disappointments. What were they? What were those?
What the disappointment. I mean, definitely not being able to call myself an Olympian was a disappointment. The challenges that I faced in my life, some started with having immigration issues while being here in the US, in between being a student athlete and being able to transition, and then having immigration issues and being out of status and just on time and what I thought were opportunities then. Those were huge challenges and setbacks. I remember after we made the sacrifice to do my master's, I did not get a job as I thought I would with that degree. That was extremely disappointing, and just different setbacks financially. All led me to where I am today.
Wow, I like these real stories, Mr. Clarke. I really like these real stories because a lot of times what people think, they look on an athlete or someone who is successful in life and think that, everything was just handed to them. And I'm listening to your story and, asking you the challenges that you faced. You mentioned that you had immigration issues, and look today, you are one of the top immigration lawyers right here in the United States. So, did that propel you to become an attorney? What caused you to become an attorney, Mr. Clarke?
It was a combination of things. It was because I did law in high school, and then when I became an athlete, I drifted away from that. So then I did my master's in business, and when I went out into the work world, I realized it didn't feel fulfilling. It didn't feel whole. And then when I took a step back, I realized that I one of the gifts that God gave me was to be able to really understand people and to see the good in people and be able to fight for them. I've always been like either the team captain or doing committees, always doing things for people. And that led me to law school, and sometimes you can't escape your destiny no matter how you fight it. Because when I did start law school, I always told myself I did not want to be an immigration attorney because it seemed so cliche. It seems so cliche that a Jamaican man would be an immigration attorney. So it's not when someone asked me to fill a position to do immigration plus personal injury, which is what I thought that I would be doing only. And immigration just became so natural to me because for me, in my immigration journey, I've been out of status. I got denied twice, so I know what that felt like, so when clients came into my office with their immigration issues, I was able to identify with them not only as an attorney or from a theoretical standpoint, but on a personal level, and clients felt way more connected to me. And they were able to trust me more, and when I know that a person trusts me, then I'm able to fight for them even more.
Wow. Many of us Caribbean people, immigrants, we know that story very well. And with that being said, Mr. Clarke, I'm sure you're gonna go all out, the legal way, and you're doing it that way to help others to get through. Because I've actually watched a video on your page where this lady, she was so grateful to know that you were able to help her so she could feel free, because it's a feeling where when you're not in status, no matter how you try to enjoy yourself or make it seem that everything is okay, in your mind somewhere, it makes you feel like you're in prison. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 100%. I mean, and as I say, I can speak from the perspective of my personal journey and from my clients. The worst thing is waking up every morning and you have this cloud over your head if you're going to hear the authorities come knocking at your door, or you can't get to travel back to see your family. You don't feel free, you don't feel liberated. So it's this cloud that hangs over your head. So being able to know how to maneuver it from a personal level, and then also to be able to advocate for people from the legal point is extremely fulfilling. I see somebody across the screen says, it seems rather cliche for Jamaicans to become immigration lawyer. Yeah, it is definitely a cliche. But one thing I've learned as an immigrant and as so my practice, we do immigration, we do everything immigration, from business to investing. We represent companies and we represent individuals. And we do personal injury as well. But what I've learned, embracing what I've learned by what I've learned by embracing the cliche, is most immigrants don't realize in America that your strength as an individual is your individuality. I remember when I was at a big firm, I was working at a big firm doing personal injury, and I was the youngest one there, as the only Black person there, and then of course I'm the immigrant there. And sometimes you automatically you want to blend in, so sometimes you feel like you have to change your accent, you have to try like them, you have to try to be like them, to move up.
Wow.
And then of course it crossed my mind, but then when I realized, like 2 or 3 months in, they were asking me how to do certain things, and I mean, these are more experienced lawyers, and
right.
When I realized, when I embraced the Jamaican in me, I embraced my accent, I embrace everything that it is to be Jamaican, which is we are flamboyant, confident people. That is when my business really, really took off. That's it. They like the accent. It's different. If I speak in court, people have to listen to you more keenly than blending in. So I always tell immigrants, like, no matter where you're from, don't try to have an American accent. That's not where you are from. That's not where you're born. Don't try to assimilate. Don't try to be like everybody else here. This is not where you're from. This is where you're growing, but this is not what made you. So to create the nexus with cliche, sometimes you have to embrace the cliche of who you are and make that a strength of yours, and that's when things really started to take off for me, is when I embrace being Jamaican, Yes,
Mr. Clarke, I was talking to someone yesterday, and I mentioned about some of us come here and be Oreos. I don't know if you've ever heard the term, we're black, but we acting other than what we are. And, Mr. Houghton was on here last week and mentioned about one's purpose, identifying yourself, who you are. And this is so much of a nugget that you just dropped to us, Mr. Clarke, a reminder for us to remember to be ourselves. That's the best way to be successful and to be, looked upon. Like you said, you were the youngest, an immigrant, had your own accent, but yet still these people were looking to you.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So, guys, just remember that when you be yourself and bring to the table what you have to bring to the table in your own self, you will see that the reward or the outcome is such of great, vast difference, in a positive way. I'm sure a lot of people, somebody here says, I'm so Jamaican. Right? There's none other than you can be yourself. Now, you said athletes, you also mentioned where we asked you, the transition from an athlete to becoming an attorney. Now, you had a little saying also that says they said athletes don't transition well to the corporate world. They said law school isn't worth the debt. They said there are too many attorneys and I won't find a job. They said I would have to change my accent for the court. They said I needed to work at a law firm for 5 to 10 years before I can consider starting my own practice. They said most new firms don't make it past the first year. They said to start small and think small. They said I don't look like an attorney. To all the days, thank you. And for all the days that will tell you things that are not in line with your goals and visions, smile and apply nonstop, relentless pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that remarkable? Isn't that remarkable? You just said it, Mr. Clarke. And, like one of our guests said, we're happy that you're here to share your story because it's not just looking on you as an athlete, or an attorney. Every one of us have a story to share, right?
Absolutely.
Now, all too often, we as immigrants keep our stories silent. We wrap it up and refuse to share it. And now your story is not a secret. Your struggles are not a secret. I'll tell people, share your story so another can reach their glory. Yeah. Now, what is go ahead.
I just want to touch on that point about, embracing your story and embracing your struggle. I had a very candid conversation with my father last night.
Wow.
And he was saying, man, son, I'm so proud of you, and then he reminded me, he's like, man, don't ever forget that when you were born, it was just the three of us in a one bedroom apartment. He said, don't forget that, there were days when we didn't have anything to eat and I had to go out to Bull Bay to go fish to provide food. And he said, don't you ever forget that when you were born, we had to wait on his paycheck to go get my first outfit as a baby. And we went to town and the first outfit we try on a PP top, so in made off a bite. He said, he's like, you have done so much, but don't ever forget those beginnings, and those are the stories that, I've taken the strength from my father's journey, like from seeing him grow, from those humble beginnings, to where he is and where I am today. It's always a story and the journeys that keep you motivated and keep you honest, and
wow,
definitely will attract your purpose.
Wow, that is so true, Mr. Clarke. Like, we got to stay true, and I'm happy that he could remind you Because, so often, so many of us, and I can't say this too often, we forget where we're coming from and we act like, oh, we've never had the tear up bottom clothes or we never had the, 10 commandments on the streets walking, who never had shoes to go to school. Or, like you said, you had to shack up with everyone in the one bedroom. I wouldn't know that, Mr. Clarke.
Exactly.
Now, I wouldn't even say that.
Exactly. A lot of time people only see the end result. But they don't see the shine. They see the shine, but they don't see the grind, they don't see the journey, they don't see the story. They just go off assumptions, they don't know what you had to go through, what your family had to go through to get you, where you are today. So like that's why, I'll always remember who I am. And even if I ever try to forget that, when I say my mother and my father, now I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to bring up too much of it, but even right now we see in the news, the media, I mean, it's a whole cast, it's a whole mess. But Spice, one of our Jamaican artists, I'm looking at her, and for the years that I've known her, I know she works hard as a single mother for her 2 kids, and she's never forgotten where she's coming from, and she always, wherever she goes, she lifts the banner for Jamaica. So that's what we're talking about, remembering our roots, remember where we're coming from, and not forgetting to even help others. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you also have a charity or something, or a foundation that you do help people, Mr. Clarke. Can you tell us about?
Yes. So I do have the Sekou Clarke Foundation. It's in its 2nd year. I'm a 100% believer that in this slogan, each one reach one, each one teach one. There's so many people that help me along the way. Whether it's through knowledge, mentorship, or even financially. And I completely believe that life is a cycle. The higher you climb is the more people you have to pull up, the more people you have to give. And I feel like the more money you make, right?
That's for some of us who are not selfish, though, Mr. Clarke.
Yeah. And people don't understand that the more you give is the more money you make. It's the more resources that will become available, because that is just the way how energies the world and how faith should be. The more you make is the more you should be able to help somebody. Even if you don't have the money to give, you can either point them towards a certain type of resource. You can, donate your time, donate your resources. It doesn't have to always be financial, but it is so important in growth and really maximizing your success as a person, which is giving back. So that's the basis on the foundation. Each one reach one, each one teach one. It's based on mentorship. It's based on philanthropy and just giving back. But it's my goal to want to reach more people, to try to teach, to try to inspire, and also use my journey as an inspiration, because a lot of times, people say black man and think that there's a ceiling as to what the black man can do, or you are only stuck in certain boxes. But,
Right.
I like letting or showing people that you can achieve this, you can achieve that, without having to come from, a certain type of background.
Yes, sir. And, your mission vision is in line with what us here at Ladies Uplifting on Inspiring Believing. And that's the reason why this program was born 6 months ago. And I believe that the 6 months time span, we have propelled to a level where we did not even expect it. But like you said, when we started out, I remember our first video, we said the aim, the vision, objective was to help people. And if we didn't even currently have the money, whatever resources we could help them with, or, pointing them here and there, or, just sharing a story, like you said, inspiring others.
Yeah.
It goes a great way, believe you me. You never said anything wrong. You always hit the nail right on the head right there. So I also know that you do I know you mentioned like the things that you cover under immigration. Do you also cover sports visa where you help athletes to attain a sports visa?
Absolutely. That is the one of the only type of visas in my firm where I mean my firm is a size of seven, including me. But the sports visa is one where I do it from start to finish. Usually every other case,
Right.
um, I am on it at the start, and then before it leaves the firm, I am on it at the end. But with the sports visas, because it's so personal to me, because it covers everything, the sports obviously and the immigration law. So I love doing those type of visas, and I'm the only one in my firm that can do them,
Oh,
unfortunately. Yeah. So the answer is yes. Yes, I do sports visas. And not only track, we've gotten green cards and sports visas approved for MMA fighters, um, football players, golfers, basketball. Yeah,
you name it.
of course. Yeah, and track, of course.
Sitting here as a fellow Jamaican, Mr. Clarke, you make me feel so proud to be a Jamaican. We look about with Talawa.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You know?
Yeah.
What was that? I'm jumping back down the lane here. What was that one yes that changed the course of your life?
One yes. That's a really good question. One yes. I would definitely have to say it was the yes to the law school that gave me a chance to attend, because when I decided and started to prepare and started to apply, most of the application periods had already passed, and I had a strong GPA from my bachelor's and master's, but the LSAT wasn't stellar, and I got a bunch of no's, and I missed the deadline for some of the other schools, and this one school gave me the yes. And I remember when they said yes, we will let you in on a probationary period, and they gave me the yes on Friday, and classes started on Monday, so I didn't do any orientation like the other students or nothing. And also it was in a different city. I live in Orlando and the school was in Jacksonville. So for the first semester, I had to drive from Orlando, which is a 2-hour plus drive, to class back and forth. Yeah. But all I needed was that one yes. And I said I would figure the rest out. And I did. So that's definitely the yes that changed my life. I could say that.
Wow. I like hearing these stories. I'm sitting here, it's like we're in the same room. It's just like a family thing where I'm just sitting. I'm just always inspired to hear another person's story. So what we are going to do, guys, we're going to take a very quick break, and we will come back. You're listening to the attorney, Sekou Clarke. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Name, Corona. Surname, Virus. Nickname, COVID. Age, 19. Mother, China. Current boyfriend, USA. Ex, Italy, Iran, Spain. Crush, India.
Okay, guys, thank you for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, we have 3 shows today. This is the first of the 3 with Dr. Sekou Clarke, The Journey of an Attorney. And following this show, it's going to be a conscious conversation with 2 of our Jamaican reggae artists, one live from Jamaica and the other one from Germany. And the last show, which is on our regular schedule at 8:15 p.m. It's going to be life lessons, and I'm sure that's going to be a follow-up to what we're discussing here with Attorney Clarke. So stay tuned, guys. Don't go. Like I said, go get your water. It's going to be a whole night tonight, and I'm sure you're going to not be disappointed. All right, so Mr. Clarke.
Yes.
All right. So not too often do we hear about this. However, I would love for you to educate us. If an immigrant is injured, what would you suggest to them?
If an immigrant is injured, the first thing that you need to do is one, go and get treatment. You know, whether it's at an urgent care, a hospital, a chiropractor, your any medical professional. That's the first thing. Then once you get through that first initial visit, right? It depends on your situation. If you are if your papers didn't sort out, you know, if you're undocumented, you want to let your attorney be aware of that situation. Reason being is, a lot of times when an undocumented person files a civil claim, because being injured, and if you're filing a claim, it's a civil claim, they may retaliate using your immigration status. So you want to have a person that can handle that and be completely aware of that situation, right? But you have to educate yourself and know that regardless of your status, you are entitled to medical treatment in the United States. A hospital cannot turn you away based on your immigration status. So those are the things that you need to be aware of, and then make sure that the attorney has experience and firm is set up to actually handle a civil suit where injuries are concerned.
Okay, so the most important thing you're saying that if they are not in line with the legality of their status, they should make sure that that's the first thing they consult an immigration attorney. Now, let me ask you something. What if they don't have the money? And you know, not all immigration attorneys do have free consultation. What would you advise?
So if it's a law firm that is not like mine, where we do both immigration and personal injury. Again, make the attorney aware of your situation, and then that attorney, if that attorney has your interest, has your best interest at heart, he will try to find a way based on your settlement or your prospective settlement to try to work something out where they can have an arrangement to get your paperwork financially started, like advance you to possibly get your immigration paperwork started from the money that you're supposed to get from the settlement, or at least try to liaison something with another attorney to come up with a payment plan or something, just so that you can start.
Okay, all right, guys, I hope you are listening. So what I just dropped here, I did drop your address where they can find you. You're right here in Florida. It's in Orlando. And I was trying to see if I could get like your phone number, which is 407-269-8774. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So guys, if you're looking for an attorney with integrity and transparency, look no further. Now, let me ask you, do you only practice in Florida, Mr. Clarke?
No, so for immigration, no, we do all 50 states. We have clients from all over the US because immigration is federal. So it doesn't matter where you are in the US or even if you're outside of the US. We can definitely provide you with the same type of service as if you were here. And then especially in a world now where there are a lot of virtual meetings. We've been doing virtual meetings from the inception of the firm, because we didn't want a physical meeting to prevent people from getting the actual service and legal advice that they need.
Okay. All right. And that's great to know, Mr. Clarke. That is great to know. I'm just so happy that you're Jamaican. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna lie about that. I feel so proud, so delighted to know that we have one of our very own right here on Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring, to inspire others, to help others. You heard about his foundation that he gives back to our community, and I'm sure it's not just to the Jamaican community. Whoever needs help, he is willing to help you. And that's also what we are about right here on Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring. Now, I'm very weird, Mr. Clarke. I'm going to ask you this weird question. I personally took a great look at your business logo, and I see two scales that appear balanced. Does that have any significance as to what you believe?
Yeah, absolutely. It works so well with what I wanted to represent and communicate to the world. One, it is the legal scales. It is the scales of justice. So, you'll always have those scales with most law, but I'm also a Libra, based on my birth date, which our sign is the scales. And I'm a firm believer of balance.
Mm-hmm.
Firm believer of balance. So that is why the scales, they're in the logo on the balance, because boom, I represent balance. It's my sign, and it's my personality, and it's also the scales of justice.
Wow, isn't that so? I sound just amazing. Wow. Mr. Clarke, I just want to, say a magnanimous, round of applause to you for what you're doing, for what you're representing of your very own country, Jamaica, right here in the United States of America as an immigrant. I'm so proud of you. And I can't stop saying it. Now, as an immigrant, how do you feel towards your fellow immigrant brothers, sisters, being that you are now an immigration attorney?
You said, how do I feel towards them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The immigrants, those immigrants, not just necessarily those who need your service, but all of us immigrants, you being an immigrant here, how do you feel, towards us as your brothers, sisters, right here in America? And so what's going on today,
Well, there are two sides. Like, I have a lot of other immigrant friends who are very successful. They're walking in their purpose. They're uplifting. They have maximized everything from their grassroots to their leaves, their flowers. So that inspires me. That motivates me to even grind even harder. So I love to see other immigrants come here and really, really, really go hard in the paint. Really maximize everything. And then you have the other set of immigrants who I'll see, and they're settling for the bare minimum, right? They're settling for the bare minimum. They're trying to be average. They're just trying to blend in. And those are the immigrants. Anytime I see immigrants like that, I'm like, yo, there's so much more that you can do. There's so much more that you can achieve. You just need to have a plan, and you need to see yourself at a higher level. And I feel like it's a mindset that affects a part of the immigrant population, which where they don't see themselves at a higher level. They don't see themselves as ultra successful. They only see themselves within the barriers of their community, which is, I think, is an underlying issue. So it's like a twofold. I get inspired by someone, and then someone just want to say, yo, pick up yourself, man. Like,
pull up yourself, yes.
Exactly,
Yeah. Because, purpose. We have a question here from another counselor, Dione Winterfunde, who is one of our greatest supporter in this thing that we're doing here. And as a fellow attorney, she's asking, what happens if an undocumented files a civil claim and is then removed from the United States?
Okay. Well, if as long as the claim is filed and there are merits to the claim, and the claim will go on regardless of where they are. The claim will go on. Like once there's negligence or any element of the law that enabled that person to file something in the court, it will continue regardless of where they are. The only time it may be affected is if that issue needs to go to trial and you can't get them into the US. Well, then that's where the claim may die, because for a jury trial they need to be there. But in 2020, in the world of COVID, where they're being a lot more flexible with in-person presence, who knows, maybe now you are able to do a trial as a plaintiff and not actually be in the courtroom. But if it doesn't go to trial, the claim will survive.
Okay, I hope that, I'm sure she's still watching, so thank you for responding to that, Attorney Clarke, Sekou Clarke. And, one of the most challenging goals in life is to find your life's purpose. But the challenge that comes before that is to find the place and people to do it for you. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Clarke?
I'd say I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I believe that finding your purpose is dependent on you. Your experiences and people in your life, they may bring you or help you to have that vision to get to your purpose, but another person cannot find your purpose for you. It is completely up to you to really find your purpose.
Okay, and I accept that, and I understand that's your response. But previously we had Dr. Houghton on here, and he believes as a mentor, sometimes you need people to help propel, for you to find that purpose. Mm-hmm. So, I think by mentoring, so I'm not sure, so he's on the other fence, but that's your side of it. So I like that. I like when we hear from a different perspective. Nothing is wrong with that, Yeah.
Because and again, I've had a lot of mentors.
Right.
I've had a lot of mentors in my life. But in terms of connecting mentorship from another person, from another energy to your energy, it still has to line up with ultimately what you were born to do. Like, for instance, as I said earlier, my father, who to this day is still my hero. Mentorship doesn't really embody it, but my dad always wanted me to be a pilot or a businessman,
Right.
So he paved the way and created all the opportunities for me to go in that direction, to go to business school, etc. But it wasn't fulfilling for me. And it was when I decided to go to law school and start practicing, and I felt that actual connection and really feel like I am in my purpose. So, he definitely created the foundation in terms of thinking at a higher level, but I couldn't be a pilot. I'm afraid of heights.
You are?
It's not my thing. So, people will definitely create opportunities, provide resources for you to elevate yourself and put you into a space where you can fall in line with your purpose. But sometimes a person's vision and words will not line up with where you're actually supposed to be.
Never fight it because look where you are today. I tend to lean on your side. I'm not saying that's not what Mr. Houghton is saying, but you have expounded on what you are saying as well. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, we're about to wrap up. So, guys, for those of you who are just joining, again, this is attorney Sekou Clarke. We've heard from him. We've heard that this man used to be in a one-bedroom or one room with his entire family. He's also one who was a Jamaican athlete. Unfortunately, he didn't make it to the Olympics, and for many different reasons. He was here in the United States as an athlete, Jamaican athlete. He was here out of status, as an immigrant, and you've heard it that he transitioned into becoming a very one of those lawyers who, like he said, he's the only one in his firm that does sports visas. So for you guys who probably want more information, you see it on the screen. You can contact him. Telephone number is 407-269-8774, and he is in Orlando. He also has a Facebook page, Instagram page. You can go and search for him, and I'm sure he's willing to help you. He also spoke about his foundation. So guys, he's just a man who's an all-rounder and someone who's genuine, who's himself, and stands out and is willing to help those who are really wanting to get help. All right. Now, before we wrap up, Mr. Clarke, what's one thing that you want to tell the world, or leave with us, so to speak?
Embrace embrace your individuality. Embrace who you are. Don't compromise on who you are and your beliefs, but definitely leave room to grow and room to empathize and also have a giving heart. So if it was one word I would leave is individuality. Embrace it.
Okay. I have a question here from a viewer. They're asking, what was your glory moment in track and field?
Glory moment in track and field. Man, I have a couple. I'd say probably when I was in college, we won the NCAA title in the 4x1 relay, and if most people know my track career as more for a 400-meter runner, and we won the NCAA title in the 4x1, and I was an anchor leg, and it was a big upset out of lane 8.
Wow.
And one true sprinter on the team. So for us to pull that off, it was definitely memorable.
Awesome. Lane 8 is not the best, especially when you're in a particular type of race. I mean, I myself, I did track and field in high school, but that's where I left that. I did long jump. I did the 200, 400, 800, 1500. Yes. I don't think that girl can run.
Yes.
I did that, and I also represented for my school for NCB playing netball, and I did that for my church in New York when I lived there. So I'm a sports girl. I love sports. I love talking about sports.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So, guys, we're going to cut off here, but we're not finished. Like we said, we have 2 more shows this evening. The next one will be at 6:15 p.m. and 8:15 p.m. And before I go, I have a few things to say. As you saw from the beginning, I just want to say again, congratulations to my daughter, TALISA, for being on the honor roll. She attends Immaculate Conception in Jamaica.
Big up TALISA.
Thank you, Mr. Clarke. She was on with us previously when we had a number of Olympians on the platform here with Veronica Brown Campbell and others, like a host of others. And she's interested in doing the 100 meters, but was displaying some fear. So we tried to talk her out of that. And like you said, letting her know that she can do it if once she puts her mind to it,
Absolutely.
So we just want to say big congratulations to Lisa, and also for being a part of the Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring group. All right. We also want to say shout out to the Winter Law Firm with Dione Winter Funde herself, Michelle Fanger with the Fanger Law Firm. And I'm sure you know Michelle, right, Sekou?
Yes, fabulous attorney in Jamaica.
So you see, we're surrounded by attorneys, guys, so don't play with us, all right? And also, not just to say don't play with us, whatever you need, you can always reach out to us and we will try to find them, or get the help for you. They will, like Attorney Sekou Clarke said earlier, that even if he doesn't have the service to provide to you himself, he will find you the resources. So shout out to all the Olympians, and also, how can I forget our big sponsor? It's a surprise. Our sponsor, it will be revealed on January 1 when we do our tablet giveaway for back to school to 10 lucky students in Jamaica. All right, so GMG Production helped us with our logo. Vivian Naturals, our cosmetics, all the way in Sweden, and her distributors over the world. Everything by Tal. And Mr. Clarke, just to let you know, Everything by Tal, that's my daughter's business. Well, just to let you know as well.
Yeah.
And myself, I do have the Coward Conquers Financial Literacy Consultant. So, Mr. Clarke, if you know anyone who needs to increase their buying power, you can send them to me.
Okay.
All right. And we have, other supporters like Lady Trey, Don Mafia. Oh, how can I forget Don Mafia? He also has a Christmas song that is, rocking waves on the radio waves. And he also is the one who did our theme song for us. So, normally we do say a prayer before we leave. And I just want to say thank you, Father God, for being with us this evening, for, allowing us to deliver, to inspire to others, as, that's your aim, that's the aim. And you are allowing us to use us as vehicle to present to others so that they can look up to us and, for the transparency, the integrity. And Mr. Clarke, I ask that the Father continue to bless your hands, so whatever you put your hands to, it will prosper, and that you will continue to help others and to not just think about yourselves and to not lean onto your own understanding, but to lean onto the Most High. And Father God, we thank you for blessing our program. Thank you for our sponsor as well. Bless him so that he can continue to bless others. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Clarke.
Cleo, I have one more thing to say that I forgot to mention. I have spoken to you about this. My book is coming out.
Yes, sorry.
It will be available. My book will be available for pre-order anytime now, so you can look out for it. The title of the book, originally it was Surviving Trump's America, but I expanded on a lot of the things that I wanted to talk about. So the book coming out, it's called Making America Great, The Immigrant Experience. The immigrant experience. And what I did in this book, I was able to take a lot of personal stories, challenges from my life and from my clients' life from all over the world, and how they became successful. But I also intertwined it with immigration law, where immigration law was founded within the Constitution, and the different changes that has occurred over the last 2 years, but also how immigrants can uplift themselves and use the tools that are there in America, regardless of your status, to be successful.
Awesome. Wow. Yes, because you noticed on my flyer, I did have that book. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for not forgetting that. It's not too late. So guys, pre-order that book. I'm sure there's a lot in it because, for one thing, us Black people, we've always heard that we don't read. Anything you want to hide from us, put it in a book. But let's show the world that that's not true. And even if it was, time has changed. So go get his book. Pre-order Making America Great, The Immigrant Experience. And I'm sure everybody, to me, if you ask me, we're all immigrants in this country. Okay, if you're native, like the American natives, we're all immigrants, whether you're black, white, purple, yellow, green, orange, whatever color. So guys, please support our own attorney Attorney Clarke, Sekou Clarke, Making America Great, the Immigrant Experience. So what does that tell you guys? Are we on this, we met this. Yep. So, Mr. Clarke, you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful holiday. You and your family and your firm, your staff. I pray that all goes well for you in the future as well, and you just continue to be yourself. And thank you for being on our platform.
Thank you, and thank you again for having me, Cleo. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, stay safe, blessings, everything.
No problem. Don't be a stranger. All right.
I won't. All right.
Okay.
Big up.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, guys. I was trying to see if I could rock out with a Don Mafia. All right. All right, guys, thank you for staying with us, and we appreciate you, our viewers. Don't think that we're overlooking you. We appreciate you. Thank you, Diani. Thank you, Michelle, Angela, TALISA, all of us, naturally, everybody, on behalf of all of us ladies, we do appreciate every one of you, every one of you. I'm trying to get the Don Mafia song, guys, just to close out with that. I'm not a good selector, right? But just stay with us. Stay with us. And we take you out with that Don Mafia.
Where people are going mad, the economy gets so bad. Not a dollar we have, but we are going to have Christmas dinner when we lose we job. What we are going to do in a Corona Christmas? Right, you know what that we want to discuss. Politician, beg you please assist us. Wanna look like gonna have no heart. People are suffering like Corona Christmas. Right, you know what that we want to discuss. Politician, beg you please assist us. Wanna look like gonna have no heart. Anyway. One time Christmas used tonight. Grandma get a go and kill broad daylight. Come up here regulation, everything get tight. When we reach and we have better like a king and I hear your hype. What make you run into the wife and relief escape and the things on the right. Treat her like how the rap love us fight. And back and they are foreign and a clash with the night. Jack you and Rex put the man together fight. Build them so I direct us over life. Rest that team up and a bun put the hype. Him and say them to celebrate the birth of Christ. Sing return and line it a go nice and quiet. Get up back to not bring and not touch my life. We turn by no cap and no damn pepper light. When we say we're going to do it like Corona Christmas. Right, you know what that we want to discuss. Politician, beg you please assist us. Wanna look like gonna have no heart. People are suffering like Corona Christmas. Right, you know what that we want to discuss. Politician, beg you please assist us. Wanna look like gonna have no heart. Look at the Prime Minister Green. Every school road and flex every street when they arrange. Every law implement 4 o'clock in the freedom hinge by hinge. Give them a play and the run can binge. Fish muffin on me yard. Tell me when since. In the garrison them with my God bridge. Giving money to go buy cake and syringe drinks. Upstairs so we go down in. New clothes dress up like Fresh Prince. Party with people and woman links. We know I hear no more shattering. Yeah, spend money like I mean what they mean. All when I kick them chance and the sing. Vaccine give me well while I make a link. Now we lock up in the house like king. We're going to do it like Corona Christmas. Right, you know what that we want to discuss. Politician, beg you please assist us. Wanna look like gonna have no heart. People are suffering like Corona Christmas. Right, you know what that we want to discuss. Politician, beg you please assist us.
Okay, guys, so we're just gonna take another break and we're coming right back at 6:15. So see you there. Thank you. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.